All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to, I believe this is going to be day 4 of Vlogmas. Oh, there is a dog. We are dog sitting for my mother and father-in-law. This is Winnie. She's a golden doodle, and she loves to play. And I think you're 8 months old. Say hi. So she'll be popping in and out. But like I was saying, sit down. They don't want to see your bum. Like I was saying, today is I believe the 4th day of Vlogmas, maybe the 5th. Oh, there you go. Lay down, get comfy. What are you doing over there? She has a tennis ball she loves to play with. It's a tennis ball that she's basically skinned. It's just the outside, the furry green part. What do you need? Come sit down. Or you can get up on the bed. You can go up on the bed. You're allowed on the bed here because we're nice. Oh, and you're going back down. I just took you for a walk. I fed you. I pooped you. Anyways, we're just going to have to continue. You just get to look at a cute little doggo in between talkings. So today is not a super Christmas themed video, but I thought I would do a classics bookshelf tour. So in our living room, I have 3 tall Billy bookcases, but in our bedroom, I have this little 6-cube classics bookshelf where all my classics, well, pretty well all my classics go. And then on top of it, I keep my jewelry and a piece of art. She loves shake a paw. It's her favorite trick. She also likes to lick your hands. I don't know what she thinks is on them. Get it? Boop. So I thought I would do a little classics bookshelf tour since it is a smaller amount of books than a big bookshelf, so I thought it would be like a nice little taster for Vlogmas. I think what I'm gonna do, should I take the books off and like talk about them like this? No, we'll do it, I'll flip you around and we'll do an actual like bookshelf tour situation. Also, I hope you, other than the fact there is a dog in all of these shots and you may be seeing her bum, I hope you appreciate the camera angle. I've strategically positioned myself off center so you can see the bookshelf and not my dirty laundry. All right, I gotta flip you around. We'll be right back. Okay, so here's the bookshelf. These are the top 2 shelves. And then we come down to these 2. And then down even further to these 2. So hopefully the camera's not too shaky. I have no tripod. I just have an arm. And it keeps getting bumped by a little doggo, who I love dearly. So we're just going to go through, I don't know if I'll go through every book, because I tend to talk a lot, so Winnie, I feel like if I go through every book that will be here a while, but we'll hit some of the favorites. Since it's Christmas, Winnie, no biting. We have Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, and this is I'm already going to talk a lot about these, I can tell. This is the first book and I'm talking about it. But it's got recipes. It's like a Christmas cookbook version of A Christmas Carol. And all of like the art is food photography. And it's got recipes by Giada De Laurentiis, Ina Garten, Martha Stewart, and Trisha Yearwood. But I've got Hunchback of Notre Dame, Lois the Witch by Elizabeth Gaskell. Haven't read either of those. The Iliad, I had to read that for History on Classics. Canterbury Tales, I have not read. Valley of the Dolls, I haven't read. Gabrielle Roy's The Tin Flute is amazing. It's a 1930s classic from Montreal, and it's great. Galapagos by Kurt Vonnegut. I have 3 Kurt Vonnegut's, and I've actually read all of them. This one is my least favorite of the ones I've read. In Cold Blood, which I haven't read, and a bunch of other ones which I haven't read either. Then we go over here. I've got the Jeeves Omnibus, plus also 3 other P.G. Wodehouse. Scoop my butt. 3 other P.G. Wodehouse books. I've read The Inimitable Jeeves out of this, but I haven't read these 3 yet, or the other 2 that are in the omnibus. Persuasion by Jane Austen. I've only ever read Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen for a class, but I do have Persuasion and Emma, and also, no, I think those are the only 2 I have. What else? Gulliver's Travels, one of my favorite classics of all time. It's so funny. Frankenstein, which I've read, but I didn't actually like it. John Wyndham. So I've read The Chrysalids and The Midwich Cuckoos, and I love both those, and I need to read The Day of the Triffids because I know I'm gonna love it. The Blue Castle by Alan Montgomery is amazing. I absolutely love this book. It's one of my all-time favorites. I read it this year, and it's like my favorite book ever. We've Always Lived in the Castle, Animal Farm Metamorphosis, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, all great. I've got a Shirley Jackson collection of short stories, which I haven't read yet, but I have read a couple of her other books, which you'll see later. Let me adjust this. Woo! Scooching down, this is a lot less of a bad angle for my arm. It doesn't hurt as much. Here we have a bunch of books that I had to read for classes. So The Merchant of Venice, The History of Pompey the Little, Northanger Abbey, Pamela by Samuel Richardson, which I'm very proud I read this because it's like 500 pages and it's a slog to get through. And look at all these tabs. I'm so smart. Wrote an essay on that I was pretty proud of, even though I didn't like the book, but whatever. Antigone, Oedipus, King and Electra. These two I haven't read. They're Daphnis and Chloe and the Sins of Abbe Mouret. Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles, which I need to reread because I read this in like grade 8 and I never turned back to it, but I feel like I should reread it because I think I'd like it a lot better. Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged, which I did read all of. There's little sticky notes in there, and the reason I read all of it is because there's a scholarship where if you write an essay on Atlas Shrugged, you could win $100,000. So I was like, you know what? It's worth it. I will read 1,069 pages of this and write an essay and maybe get a scholarship. I didn't get the scholarship, but I've read the book, and I keep it to let people know that I've read this big, long book. My other Kurt Vonnegut, Anne of Green Gables. I've only read the first one, but I need to read the next two because I absolutely love the first one. Treasure Island, I haven't read. 1984, read that in grade 11 English. The Three Musketeers, another one of my favorite classics. It's really good. I almost said it's delicious. I don't eat books, but I bet it would be delicious if I ate it. F. Scott Fitzgerald, The Great Gatsby, which actually, fun fact, I did not have to read in high school. I didn't read this until third year university. Graham Greene's Dr. Fisher of Geneva, or The Bomb Party, which nobody ever talks about, but is excellent. Watership Down, I, Claudius, haven't read either of those. Then we've got these. These are the Dover thrift editions, and I don't know what it is about these, but I love them. They're like ugly in a cute way. I've read all of these, so Yellow Wallpaper and Other Stories, Flatland, A Romance of Many Dimensions, and The Inspector General by Nikolai Gogol, which, if you remember from my Chris's TBR, I want to read another book by him because this was really funny. It's basically about, like, this gambler that shows up at this town that's really corrupt, and they all think that it's a case of mistaken identity. They all think that he's an Inspector General, and he goes along with it, and it's very funny. Then I have these Puffin classics. I got them in a box set. So The Wind in the Willows, Secret Garden, Peter Pan, and Anne of Green Gables. I already have a copy of Anne of Green Gables, but this one is so nice, and I love this one, so I'm keeping them both. Little Men and Little Women, which I thought I had read Little Women, but I'm realizing now, when I read it when I was a kid, I actually read an abridged version. It was like 90 pages. There's no way that I read the original. Classic Tales of Horror and Jane Eyre, neither which I have read. I had big plans to read them in October, but I didn't quite get around to them. Shirley Jackson's The Sundial, great book. Heidi by Johanna Spiri. This was one of my favorite books when I was a kid. My grandma got it for me. This is like my most prized book because I love this copy. Let's see. I'll just take it out and show you. Isn't this fantastic? Oh, I love it. Oh, that even slid in there. Then The Odyssey, which I haven't read yet. Then we come down here. There's a dog. So, let's see, can I get it? Okay, we'll just have to do a weird angle, I'm sorry. What have I read here? Dracula, which I love. If you've read Dracula and you really liked it, I really recommend reading Dracul. It's a prequel written by an ancestor of Bram Stoker, Dacre Stoker, I think is his name. And it basically tells the story of Bram Stoker's childhood and why he wrote Dracula in, like, a fictionalized, creepy way. It's so creepy. A bind-up of Jonathan Swift's works. Hi, Winnie. You're in the way, girl. You're in the way, girl. I know you want to be the star of the show. Come here. Come here. What's this? Get your ball. Okay. Shirley Jackson, The Haunting of Hill House. Another Kurt Vonnegut. A couple of other books I haven't read. Tom Jones by Henry Fielding, which is going to be a big project eventually. There's your little snoot, Winnie. The MASH novel that the book and the movie are based off of. The novel is actually really good. I do recommend. these three. Oh, I have read this, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, which is a great play, and fun fact, is actually the basis for the Office, what is it? What is it called? That episode of The Office where Michael and Jan have everyone over and it's the most awkward thing ever. The original name of that episode was Who's Afraid of Jan Levinson, but they changed it. So that's the basis for that. Fun fact. And then a couple of books I haven't read, and then In the Heat of the Night, which is a book I had to read in 9th grade English class. Then we come over here, and we have my National Geographic Histories. I've had a subscription to National Geographic History for almost 3 years. Or 2 years. 2 years? 2020 to 2022. And I haven't read all of these. I sort of just picked them up and flipped through them, but I love them. Then I have this. This is a box set. It's the Illuminated Scripture Journal New Testament set. So it's a box set of the books of the New Testament that I got for my birthday one year, and it just goes from, it's basically, it's like little tiny book versions of each of the books in the New Testament of the Bible. It's very beautiful, and they have like journaling pages. They're very cool. Then Poetry of Our Time. This is a book of poetry from my mom when she was in school. And then A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court by Mark Twain, which is good. That didn't sound convincing. It's good. I read it this year. Okay, so I'm quickly going to flip you around. Not going to bother setting the camera up in the little setup I had it before to get everything perfect. That's my toy! No, Winnie! That is a loving stuffed animal, not a biting stuffed animal. No. Where was I? So I'm just going to quickly film... Oh, Winnie's trying to eat my scrunchie. I'm just going to quickly film this outro. I don't know how well this video is going to go with me trying to wrestle Winnie and also keep her butt out of every shot, but hopefully it went well. See you later.